Hey everyone, this is Phil, and I'm also known as A Small Kitten. I am a ZZ solver, and I will be doing some walkthrough solves with my friend cyoubx. So what we're going to do is we're going to approach the same scramble, but with different methods. I use ZZ, and he uses CFOP, and so we're going to be looking at the same thing, but with different approaches. And I think that's really cool because it really just shows how different solving styles can be, and it also shows some of the limitations of the method. Of course, some scrambles are really nasty for cross-forming, and other scrambles are really nasty for EO line forming. Some scrambles are good for both, and some scrambles are just not good at all. So it'd be really interesting to see, who finds what convenient and how these scrambles feel to us. One thing I really like to do when I went to competition was talk to my friends during the round, just reviewing which scramble was easy and which one wasn't. I remember talking to some friends and they would say like, "Oh man, I got totally just destroyed on that scramble. It was so difficult to plan." And I was like, "No, no, it wasn't. That was quite easy." And then they'd kind of get annoyed and I'd come back and be like, "Oh God, I just got destroyed on that scramble." And I'd get annoyed if they did a really, had a really nice solution and my method didn't allow me to see that solution. So yeah, it's really just interesting to see how different solving can be. We hope you guys just enjoy these walkthrough solves. These can also be aside from observing differences, you can use it as somewhat of a informal tutorial to see how to handle certain cases and whatnot. I will be having F2L reconstructions in the description, so for your convenience, if you'd just like to look at what I did on paper, you'll have that. I did not reconstruct the last layer because it's pretty straightforward and it's just algorithms anyway. To explain my notation a little bit, EOL stands for EO line, B stands for block, P stands for pair, and I think I have a 3/4 EOC in there. That just means 3/4 of an EO cross. Sometimes if I can get away with building an EO cross or 3/4 of it, I'll do it. Most of the time it'll be EO line. So that's a pretty brief description of the reconstruction notation. Also, lastly, CLS is an algorithm set that orients all the corners while you're doing your last slot in a certain way. I'll show you that in the video as well. So I think that pretty much wraps up all the notation explanation. Hope you guys enjoy, and let's get started. All right, let's take a look at Scramble 1. So what I'm going to be doing first is pointing out where the wrong edges are. Let's see here. So we have 4 in the back. I'll show you guys, all 4 are wrong. 3 in the front, and 1 up here. So this is actually quite straightforward. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to do a B turn to fix these 4, and my green edge piece is here. It's going to go here eventually. So I'm going to put this one in here, and I know that this blue can swing this way or it can swing this way. I'm going to swing it this way so it's opposite of the green. So the blue's on this side and the green's on this side, and I'm going to put them down to get that line, and then D move to fix the line. And the first thing I notice is these two, and the other piece is here. So because this white sticker is facing up, I'm going to stack it on top of its edge piece, and now I have a pair, and it goes in with this one. So this block like that. And then I have nothing better to do, so I'm just going to solve the cross piece. And I notice this one and this one, like this. And then I notice this piece in here. It's going to pair with this one. So I set up this. And this is stuck together already, so I'm going to just insert it like this. And this is a CLS case. So what you do here is you just take this pair out, like this, and then you insert it in, and then you get the OLL. And this is a J-perm with no AUF, and it's done like that.
Hey guys, it's me, cyoubx, and I'm going to be doing the same 5 solves using CFOP or Friedrich. Here is Scramble 1. I'm going to be doing the cross on white, so the first thing I want to do is I want to find the 4 pieces for the white cross. So that's going to be the red and white, orange and white, the blue, and the green. And looking around, this red one is already essentially correct. You just have to do a D2 to make sure that these two match, because right now this is orange and this is red. This orange one can be put here in 2 moves, and then this blue and green, these two are a bit trickier. But what I can do is if I move this over here so that these two are in the correct relative orientation, and I just insert this orange one later, what I can do is I can bring these two up, move them over, and here you see that we already have 3 done, and the orange was here before, but of course when I put the green, that's going to knock out this orange, and so you can just insert that last. And then you just want to orient right here, and you already have your cross completed. So the first thing I notice is this right here. The edge is already inserted, but this corner is not, so you want to put this in. So I would probably just do a U2 to set up for the case, and then you just insert like this. I also noticed that this is already in the slot. It's just one of those sort of nasty cases that you generally don't want to deal with. If this were a timed solve, I would do this right away because I wouldn't notice the other pieces. So actually let's do that since it's more practical. So you do this, and then I would probably do this next. So this is going to be blue and red, but of course this is also a fairly bad case. So actually what I would do is do this pair first. Go like that. So that pairs this, and it also knocks this corner out. Pairing that, I can now insert like so, and then I can do these two, pair, insert. Now you just want to do your OLL and PLL.
Alright, let's take a look at Scramble 2. Alright, so there are 6 wrong edges. I have 2 in the front, 2 on the down layer, and 1 up here, and 1 hiding in the back. So what I'm going to be doing is first in F, I'm going to be directly solving this piece into the EO line. So I'm not going to first set it up on the D layer and move it around. And I'm going to do the same with the other piece. Because once I do a D move, now this piece is down here, which can swing up later and be directly solved without using a D turn to adjust. But first I'm going to solve this piece. And then I'm going to group everything else on the back. So like this, and then solve this piece. Now I have the EO line. And I have this convenient block here. So I'm going to attach it to this piece. So I form the block and insert it. And then I notice that this piece is solved already, so this is very easy look ahead for me. And this piece can attach to this piece, like this, with its block. And I know that once I lift this piece up, it's going to attach itself to this piece, forming a pair. And this is into a J-perm cancellation. I could have canceled another move, but it would have been very, very risky. And it's already risky to cancel, so if you decide to do that, be careful. But that one was pretty obvious because the J-perm has these blocks that are nicely solved already on the other side, so it's pretty easy to see.
Here is Scramble 2. Again, you want to find your cross pieces first. So orange, green, red, blue. It looks like orange and blue are all set to go, but this green is going to be an issue because if I were to just drop in this orange and blue, the green's in the right spot, it's just flipped incorrectly, so that's 3 moves that I would have to account for, and I don't like doing that. So instead, what I can do is I can actually move this green either this way or this way. Neither are particularly good, but let's just move it this way. Insert the orange, insert the blue, and now when I want to do this red piece, I can insert the red and kick out the green. So this is the first pair I see, but I also see this pair shortly after, and this seems like a better option, so I'm going to do it. And as I'm doing that, I'm tracking these 2 pieces, so I connect the moves and pair this right away. And then I also see this. So here you can actually pair this first, and then here you can find this as well. So at this point, this was the first pair, or I guess the second pair, third pair, and now the fourth pair. And so now you can just insert things like this, and now you have all three done. Now you do your OLL, and now you can do your PLL. From this angle, you know it's a G perm because you have headlights, and then you have this, which could be an A perm, except that these are opposite colors, so you know it's a G perm. That's the solve.
All right, let's take a look at Scramble 3. Okay, so there are 6 wrong edges and a nice block. I just like to point this out. I can't really use it, but there are 6 wrong edges, 3 in the back and 2 up here and 1 over here, giving us a total of 6. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fix the ones in the back, except for this one, which will be purposely made wrong. And then I'm going to group everything on the front face and swing my green edge this way, so it's opposite of my blue edge. I'll fix it like that. And then what I'm going to do is pair this one with this one here, and then insert it. And what I noticed here is I can do an L2, leaving this slot open. So if I were to do the green-orange slot, I just need to put it here, and then it would go in. So next I'm going to pursue that green-orange slot. So make that green-orange pair, and then insert it. And then I have this nice convenient block, so attach it to this piece. And over here, I noticed that this piece is going to end up like this. So I'm going to move this piece over here. And then it's an easy insertion. Soon and V-perm.
Scramble 3. I'm actually going to do cross on yellow, I think, because this is just too nice. So here I would notice that this orange and yellow is already complete, and this red here and this can form a block, so you can do an X cross. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this orange here first, bring down the red, and then I'm going to do a D2 to do this. So now notice you have the block. For this last cross piece, I'm actually not going to put that in because, I don't know, there's not a huge point to do it at this right now. So instead, I think I'm going to just solve this pair and pretend like this cross piece is in there, like so. So you can insert that. And then the next thing I see is that this orange and green pairs with this corner, but I can't really get that out unless I do other stuff, because this is where the cross piece should have went. So at this point, I can insert that, and then instead of knocking this out right away, I can do this pair first, which will knock this out, and now I can do this pair. Like so. And then OLL, and then Y perm. Oops.
Okay, let's check out Scramble 4. All right, so we've got 4 wrong edges, 1 up here and 1 down here, and 2 over here. So what I'm going to do is group everything on the front face, because I know that I have 2 already here, so I'm just going to put everything else on the front face. This one goes down here. These 2 I'll move down over here, so this one will go over here, and that one will take its place. And then I'm going to do an F turn. Then I have my green edge here, my blue edge here, so I'm just going to solve them to make the EO line. And then I have a pair here, so I'm just going to go in here. And then I noticed this. This would set up into a 3-move insertion once I did a U2, and it would not break up this pair. So now I know to do this pair. And I know that this is going to be facing up, so it's going to stack on top of this, like that. This is COL and uperm.
Here's scramble 3. Notice immediately that the cross, 2 of the pieces are done. You just have 2 pieces left. So that's the green and the blue. For something like this, you want to look ahead for your first pair and look for some options. These 2 pieces stand out to me, although it's not really a great option. The other option is maybe these 2, so this is the orange and blue right here. That's another choice. And then those are probably the 2 best ones, and then there's this as well. So none of the choices are particularly good, but that's okay. So I would probably just insert the blue, and then I would just notice these 2. So you can do kind of anything you want, but you can track the pieces at least. So it turns out these 2 ended up in a fairly nasty spot, but you can pair them like this. And when you insert this, you want to insert from this angle into this slot. So you're going to do an RU to R prime. And the reason you want to do that is so that you can split these 2 up. Like so. You want to pair this. And now when you insert this, you need a cube rotation. And whenever you need a cube rotation for inserting things, always insert things in the back. It's going to help your look ahead. If you were to insert this pair in here, this doesn't do you much good for look ahead because this is filled and you're filling this spot, and so the only places you can have for look ahead would be up here, and that's just not a good choice. On the other hand, if you insert it in the back from this angle, you have all the top pieces that you can look at as well as these 2 empty slots, and that's going to help with your look ahead. So let's insert this, and then I'm going to do these 2 first, and then I also see these 2, so it doesn't matter, but let's just do this first. And that's going to set up a nice 3-move case for this. And you're done with F2L. Next, you're going to do one of the easiest OLLs, and followed by Z perm.
All right, let's check out Scramble 5. All right, so we have 6 wrong edges, 2 in the back, 1 on the top, 1 on the front, and 2 on the bottom layer. So what I'm going to do is a U-turn to form 3 in the back, and I'm going to correct these 3, purposely making this one wrong. So now I have 4, so I'm just going to put them all in one face. And for my F quarter turn, I'm going to choose F because it locks in this red piece, and then I fit my green piece in here, and then I do the D move. And now I've completed a 3/4 EO cross. And now I notice that I have a block here and a pair here. So I'm going to insert the pair first without messing with this block. So I'm going to put the block on the bottom so there's no chance of it getting destroyed. And I'm going to insert this pair. And now I'm going to finish this block like this. And I can either do this or I can do this. I'm going to do this one first. And then I'm going to do this. And this is a soon. And this is a uperm.
So here's the 5th scramble. Again, you want to find your 4 cross pieces, red, orange, blue, green, and you can do the cross a couple different ways, none of which are particularly good, but I would probably do something like this to insert those 3, do a D prime to match this, and then you can just insert the blue. I see these 2 first, but I also see this pair, so let's split these 2 up first, and then when you insert, you want to insert in the back. So do a cube rotation in this direction, like so, and then probably do this first. Continue on to set up this, so one continuous motion, and then the last 2 pieces. Fairly straightforward. This is another easy OLL. It's just F sexy F prime, and then it's the P. So it's the same thing twice. You end with an L perm, and then AUF.
All right, so that pretty much wraps up our walkthrough solve video. Thank you guys very much for watching it. This was very interesting to do. If you guys have some spare time in the camera, it'd be cool if you also made a video about these scrambles. It's a pretty fun thing to see how similar or how different you are from other people. If you use a different method, or even if you use the same method, there are many ways to solve a scramble. So it'd be really cool to see what you guys do. So feel free to make a video response. We'll definitely watch it and talk about our solutions. For your convenience, we will have reconstructions of our F2Ls in the description, so you can refer to those if you have any questions about what we did. And if you have any questions beyond the reconstruction, feel free to comment, and we will write back and talk about what we did. Thank you again for watching, and see you in the next video.